Hi, welcome to my channel. So for this video, I'm going to be talking about my life after university. So let's just start with what I studied. So I studied economics at the University of Northampton. I studied it from 2015 to 2018. I graduated with a first class. So I really enjoyed my time at university. I really enjoyed the course. I was really good at it. I enjoyed all the modules, and yeah, I wanted a challenge, and I wanted to do something with a lot more maths in it, more maths content, and I really enjoyed the finance modules I studied at university. So then I decided to do a master's in finance and econometrics at Queen Mary University. Yes, so yeah, that was extremely challenging. It was very different from undergrad. um there was a lot less guidance, and you had to be independent. You needed to work things out yourself. Not that they weren't providing some guidance, but it was nothing compared to your undergrad. And yeah, it was very difficult, especially because with my undergrad, the past papers were already there. You had access to it, whereas with the masters I was doing, they only provided the past papers just a couple of months before the exams. So yeah, as you can imagine, it was very stressful. Yes, so that is what I studied. So during my time at uni, so during my masters, that's when I started looking for a job. So I started looking for jobs in April 2019. Yeah, I started looking for jobs there. So I was applying for different types of jobs. So economic consultants, um, accounting, investment banking, all those type of roles. I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to get into, but I knew that those roles were analytical. Like if I like the job description where it requires strong analytical skills, where I could do spreadsheet modeling, some financial modeling, I'll just apply to it. So yeah, so I applied for a few jobs, and one particular job which where I actually went through to the last stage was the economic consultants role I applied for. So I applied by sending my CV, my cover letter, standard, and also I had to send an example of a piece of work that I'd done as well. So I sent that over, and they got back to me for they sent me a numerical test to do and a written test. So numerical and written test I had to do at home, so it wasn't in the office, so it was more relaxed. So they gave me like a week to complete it. So yeah, once that was done, yeah, I sent that back to them. They got back to me for an interview. I was excited, went for the interview. Now, oh my gosh, it was like the first proper interview I'd gone to, like for a proper grad role, and it was so formal. It was nerve-wracking, and yeah, it was like I was really under pressure. I was like, oh my gosh, the office was huge. And yeah, it was just, yeah, the questions were tough. So it was a standard interview with the competency based questions, and then they started asking some technical questions which were somewhat difficult as well. And yeah, because I hadn't been asked specific questions like those, so I wasn't prepared for those type of questions. And they got back to me, I think around just a couple of days later, not long, and unfortunately I didn't get the role because they told me that I didn't answer the technical questions as well as the other candidates. And I was gutted by it, but I kind of knew that I could have answered the questions better. But I was still happy because it was a learning curve for me. And I was like, you know what, there's still time to apply for jobs. Like, I'm still in my degree, and yeah, just keep applying. So I just kept applying for roles. And then during like August, they got back to me, and they started they told me, oh, there's a position in the Birmingham office, and you've been recommended for it. And I was thinking, and then they invited me for an interview to for the Birmingham office, and I was just thinking, do I want to move to Birmingham for a role? I wasn't really sure, but I was like, why not? Let's just go for it. Let's see. I might really like the people there. It might be a role that I want to do. Like, I'm not gonna let like geography stop me from getting my dream role. So I went for the interview in Birmingham. The interview was it was much calmer than the first. It was easier than the first one for sure. It was a bit more relaxed, even though, like, you know, I was they asked some technical questions and everything like that, but it was a bit more relaxed than the first interview. And then like a week later, I got a call saying that I'd gotten the position, and I was excited. I was so happy. So yes, now that's the role I'm in currently. I work as an economic consultant for an engineering company. So comparing university with the working world, yes, there are major differences, and yeah, let me just get right to it. So with the with university, you're not concerned about how your actions affect others. You're just focused on, you know, getting that, just understanding the material as best as you can, and, you know, passing on, like, okay, let me just get a D in this, or let me just get a C, you know. Whereas in the working world, you have to understand the task really well. You can't just settle, like, if they've given you task, it's your responsibility to make sure that you understand it fully, and, you know, you not completing your tasks to the best of your abilities, or completing the completing the task totally, you know, it's going to affect other people from doing their work. So whereas at university, you know, you can just kind of relax, you know, even if you do 50% of it, that's okay. But you know, in the workplace, you can't do that. Another thing that's important, people skills. People skills is very important. Being able to communicate with people. When at university, you don't have to do that. You know, you can, like, I was used to sticking with myself, just making sure I get my work done, submit it, just chill. No. In the working world, you need to be able to talk to people from different offices and from different teams, work well with others, because, you know, sometimes to complete your task, you need other people's help, you need inputs from other people. So it's very important that, you know, you work very well with others, and you're conscious of, you know, the way you speak with others, your facial expression, all of that stuff comes into play. Whereas at university, you're not focused on that. You're just doing your work. Like, you don't really need to care about you know, how you're how you're affecting other people in your class, or, you know, other people at your university. Whereas at work, it is very, very important, because these are the people that will talk about give you feedback on your work, and, you know, the feedback is important for your progression. So yeah, definitely that's the main thing. Another thing is that you need to the main thing, you need to be aware of your emails. Honestly, no one's gonna be there telling you that, oh, that email is important, no, that email, don't worry about it. You need to be able to manage your own workload. I know that you have some experience, but everyone will probably have some experience with that at university, but it's different in the workplace, because you know, deadlines come up. You know, sometimes it could be a deadline for Friday, but then it's now moved to Wednesday. So you need to make sure you're always, when you're working on a project, you need to make sure you're contacting everyone in that project, making sure you're aware of what's changed. So at university, you've got one assignment, that's it. Nothing really changes. It's just got that one brief, and you've got 2 months to do it. Whereas in the working world, things are always changing. The client comes back, no, they don't like that input, they don't like the outcome, you need to do things a different way. Things are always changing. So you need to make sure you're always looking at your emails, keeping up with your team, on making sure you understand the task fully, because no one's gonna come and tell you how to do it. You know, of course, if you need help, you need to be able to ask all the right questions. You need to be very proactive. So that's another thing. Being proactive is absolutely important. You need to be proactive. You need to ask questions. You need to understand what other people are doing. You need to understand how you know, the company operates. These are really, really important things. The working world is real challenging sometimes. You know, you're responsible for a lot of things. Like, people are going to come to you like you're an expert at what you do. So another advice I would give is that when you're working, make sure when you're given a task, make sure you fully understand, ask all the questions. When you're given a task here, make sure whatever you're given, you really know it, you try your best to learn it really well, because once people have given you certain things, they expect you to be clued up on it. So yeah, don't rely on someone else you know, having the answers. You need to be very proactive, and, you know, you need to be able to find out who would provide me, who would have the answers to the questions I have. So being very, very proactive is extremely important. So overall, my experience, I would say it is challenging, and I'm learning every day, and yeah, the learning doesn't stop. I've learned a lot how to, adjusting to the working world, to the office environment. It is very different from university. People are going to struggle, and yeah, so thinking even if you did really well at university, it doesn't fully prepare you for what it's like in the office world. So yeah, definitely I would definitely encourage people to do internships if you can, get some work experience beforehand. But yeah, that's just my experience. If you guys have any questions, please comment down below. Please don't forget to subscribe and like, and yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.